A NASDAQ-listed company is now purchasing XRP as a Treasury Reserve asset, a move that just a few years ago might have seemed unthinkable. But for those of us in the XRP community, this moment has been years in the making. We've long believed in the potential of XRP, even when others doubted the cryptocurrency asset class could achieve mainstream acceptance. Now, with growing recognition of crypto's long-term value and a regulatory environment that's slowly catching up, what once felt like a distant dream is becoming reality. This isn't just a milestone, it's validation for those who saw XRP's potential as a serious reserve asset. And believe it or not, this isn't the first time a publicly traded company has openly claimed to hold XRP in its reserves. Just a few years ago, this might have sounded like pure science fiction, but it's happening now. And this company, they're taking things to the next level. They've started using XRP for payment flows. Yes, you heard that right. XRP is now powering cross-vendor transactions within their supplier network. No exaggeration. Why? Two big reasons. First, they're leveraging it as a reserve asset. Second, for its functionality. Because let's face it, XRP has always been the MVP of payments. That's its sweet spot. It's the first crypto to truly conquer the use case Bitcoin initially aimed for, a peer-to-peer cash system. But let's be real. Bitcoin on layer one just doesn't cut it for that. Bitcoin may have set the stage, but XRP is stealing the spotlight and has been doing so seamlessly on layer one for over a decade. Welcome to the era of utility, folks. As long as XRP keeps proving its usefulness, and let's face it, its utility is only growing with time, it's cementing itself as a solid long-term investment. To me, it's crystal clear. XRP stands out as an early champion in the crypto world. As time goes on, more people will have no choice but to see what we've known all along. The proof is in the progress, and it's happening right before our eyes. Our community has believed in XRP's potential from the start, and now it's finally unfolding. It's a great time to be part of this journey, but let me pause for a moment. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a finance background, and this isn't financial advice. Make your own decisions, not based on my words. Big news from the crypto basics. Logistics Health is making waves by adopting XRP as a reserve asset and for healthcare payments. And no, this move doesn't appear to involve Ripple, at least not officially. There's no mention of Ripple in their press release, though it's possible they could collaborate for software implementation down the line. But for now, it seems this NASDAQ-listed company made the bold decision entirely on its own. How cool is that? A major healthcare distribution firm stepping into the crypto space. Logistics Health has secured a $50 million 0 cents credit facility to adopt XRP as a reserve asset and build a real-time payment infrastructure powered by the altcoin. They aim to lead the way as one of the first publicly traded companies in healthcare to use XRP as both a treasury reserve and a core settlement tool for their nationwide network with a newly secured equity line of credit, ELOC. Logistics is set to revolutionize payment systems by leveraging programmable liquidity and blockchain technology. The goal? To eliminate banking bottlenecks and create a seamless healthcare infrastructure where manufacturers, suppliers, and pharmacies transact instantly. No outdated intermediaries, no exorbitant fees. Sound familiar? It's exactly what the XRP community has championed for over a decade. The answer to whether this vision aligns with what we've been advocating is a resounding yes, a very obvious yes. And now the world is starting to catch on. Following recent shifts in the regulatory landscape, businesses are finally embracing blockchain solutions. Without the looming threat of government pushback, companies are realizing the tremendous value of this technology. The result? A tidal wave of investment into XRP and blockchain in the coming years. The amount of capital poised to flow into this space will be nothing short of staggering compared to where we stand today. Peaceful progress is the vibe here. Logistics is shaking up one of the US economy's toughest sectors using the power of the XRP ledger. We're investing in innovation, not clinging to the status quo, said CEO Brian Norton. The mission? Build faster systems, deliver cleaner data, and create smarter platforms. Logistics highlighted why XRP stands out from traditional payment methods, with lightning-fast transactions topping the list. Change is here, and it's moving at warp speed. XRP is changing the game, settling transactions in just 5 seconds, light years ahead of the up to 3-day wait with ACH or wire transfers. And the cost? Less than 0.00002 cents per transaction, a fraction of traditional bank wire fees. Plus, the XRP ledger offers on-chain transparency, ensuring real-time compliance and seamless auditability. These powerful features fuel smart rebate automation, advanced pricing tools, and an unshakable compliance layer, built directly into the logistics ecosystem. This isn't just talk, it's the future of efficient, transparent transactions laid out right here in their press release. They're backing it all up with the innovations we've been hearing so much about. Much of this ties back to what we've been discussing. Sure, some of it is unique to their industry, but just look at these figures. As highlighted by Crypto Basic, transaction costs are practically non-existent. Just 0.05 cents, as practically free. Logistics released a statement comparing this to traditional bank wires, which can run between $10.00 to $30.00. And they also emphasize XRP's blazing fast settlement times, 3 to 5 seconds. Yes, you've read that right. Lightning speed. Here's the thing. You've cracked the code. Seriously, you're light years ahead of your competitors. It's also logical. Why wouldn't businesses adopt this? It's almost too good to ignore. Oh, and I have to take a jab at Cointelegraph. Some things never change. For nearly a decade, they've been throwing shade at XRP, but yet every now and then, even they have to acknowledge its brilliance. It really depends on who's writing, but over at Cointelegraph, it seems like they've got a serious case of XRP derangement syndrome. They did cover the story though, kind of. The focus, logistics. Integrating XRP into payment infrastructure. Typical, right? Sure, they mention it, but only with a couple of brief paragraphs. Not a single word about XRP being held as a reserve asset in the treasury of a publicly traded company. Nothing. Zero. Completely skipped that part of the story. And then out of nowhere, they pivoted to Bitcoin halfway through the article. Talk about a plot twist. Just look at this. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin often get all the attention for revolutionizing finance with peer-to-peer transactions, blah, blah, blah. But hey, thanks for shoehorning Bitcoin into an article that's supposed to be about like XRP. Appreciate that, Cointelegraph. Truly groundbreaking journalism right there. Honestly, it's comical at this point, completely missing the point. Anyway, let's get back on track because there's a gem of a quote that every XRP enthusiast knows. It's old but gold, dating back to 2018. Michael Arrington XRP Capital, said something that still resonates today. Here's the quote. We moved $50 million 0 cents worth of XRP into our company in 3 seconds, and it cost 30 cents. There is no way to do that with fiat or Bitcoin. Mic drop. It was crystal clear even then. Arrington got it. I got it. And if you were paying attention back in 2018, you got it too. The world is finally catching on, but the pace, it's about to skyrocket. We're talking exponential growth as more money floods into the space. And here's a perfect example. Let me take you back to a headline from the Crypto Basic dated December 6, 2024, New York-based Worksport to acquire XRP for its corporate strategy. Worksport, a leading hybrid energy solutions manufacturer, announced plans to allocate 10% of its extra operational cash to Bitcoin and XRP as part of its treasury strategy. A bold move and one that signals a major shift in how businesses view crypto. This was the first time I came across a publicly traded company in the US purchasing XRP. It really caught my attention. But here's another interesting example, this time from Canada. The BC Budco made headlines by diversifying its treasury with a $250,000 0 cents XRP purchase, aiming to boost shareholder value. Now, while $250,000 0 cents isn't a game-changing amount for a company, it's still a solid indicator of where things are headed. It's fascinating, isn't it? Makes you wonder how many private firms out there flying under the radar are quietly holding XRP as a treasury reserve asset without making it public. A lot to think about. Here's one last update for you. Headlines from April 26. A NASDAQ-listed company has officially added XRP to its corporate treasury, signaling growing confidence in the asset. Digital Commodity Capital Corporation is the latest to reveal significant holdings of XRP, further proof that institutional interest is on the rise. It's a story we've touched on before, but it's worth revisiting as a reminder, you're not alone in believing in XRP's potential. The world is catching on and fast. Adoption is accelerating in a big way. And honestly, it's an incredible moment to be an XRP holder. And in my humble opinion, there's never been a better time in history to hold XRP. The balance of risk and reward right now is just unmatched. Think about it. If you were a day one investor buying XRP at fractions of a penny, we're talking 0.002 cents. The risks back then were astronomical compared to where we are today. It's an entirely different landscape now, and the future has never looked brighter for XRP. Hardly anyone has even heard of XRP, almost 0%. That's what makes this such an incredible opportunity. Buying it now, assuming the long-term potential plays out over the years and decades, feels like hitting the sweet spot. There's less risk than back in 2013, but the potential rewards are still massive. That's the magic zone. I believed in this idea back in 2017. And guess what? It's still true today, even looking ahead to 2025. The difference now, the risk feels even lower than it did back then, yet there's still a huge upside. Sure, there will come a day when XRP will be so big that even a 10% increase will require an insane amount of money, but that day is far off. Right now, we're still in the golden phase where this thing has the potential to create mind-blowing wealth. This is the moment we're in. That said, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't make any buying or selling decisions based on what I say or write. That would be a really, really bad idea.